Welcome to Marketing Matters with Art of Strategy.
Welcome back to Marketing Matters. I'm Tina Winslow. I'm the owner and CEO of Art of Strategy. And today I have Brooke Dieterlin with me. She is the managing partner of Art of Strategy. So, hi, Brooke. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to be here. It's a girl chat between Tina and Brooke.
I know. It's just me and you today.
Right.
So, I had a couple topics I wanted to talk about. I was going to see what you thought.
Okay.
I want to do some discussion around Dallas-Fort Worth area as a cityscape for digital marketing, and also a little bit about the differences between B2C and B2B marketing.
Okay. All right.
So,
these are good topics.
Good topics.
I like them.
So one of the things that we were looking at, we're speaking specifically, I think, in the lawyer market, in the attorney market, and a little bit into professional services. We did a little bit of research, and I think in the attorney market, there are like 96,000 attorneys in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and like 33,000 of them are in Dallas or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was a pretty big number.
Right.
So that leads us to talk a little bit about the B2C, B2B difference.
Right.
So
I get asked that a lot. You bringing that up as the owner, you would know what topics are going to be hot and not. But B2B and B2C.
why don't you define what B2B and B2C is?
Yeah. So business to business, B2B, business to business. So if you are, let's say, a corporate attorney or a corporate law, business contracts, trademark patents,
real estate.
Anything that they're going to be helping businesses with legally, B2B. So sometimes they become management or managing counsel for businesses. Yes, and they monitor their affairs and everything that they've got going on with information control. But B2C is very different. B2C is going direct to the consumer.
What are some examples of a B2C scenario?
Well,
in law specifically.
Right. In law, it might be a personal injury attorney.
Right.
It could be a criminal defense attorney. It could be something as estate, wills, trusts, things that families or family members might come upon the need for an attorney at some point.
That carries over a little bit into professional services. So like if you had a CPA firm, or if you had a tax group, or something that's along the lines of professional services, I guess dentists and doctors fall into that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we say lawyers, but it can be professional services a lot of times as well.
Absolutely. So B2B and B2C, that's the big distinguish point for businesses. That's where they start to develop, in marketing world, their target personas, who they want to sell to.
Yeah, who they want to sell to. And we've talked about marketing personas a little bit, buyer personas. We can go over that in more detail at a different time. But I think I want to dive into some of the tactics that a company, an attorney, specifically a B2C attorney or a professional services, would employ in the Dallas market in terms of digital marketing, or I guess marketing in general. It's not have to be digital marketing, but I think we're covering a little more digital marketing aspects today.
Yeah. One thing I would bring up before we begin our full conversation is that when I am on either a sales call or a one-on-one meeting, meeting with a potential client that's interested in our services, oftentimes those B2C they say they rely only on referrals. And I know that's a slippery slope because, yes, referrals are a wonderful method, the best method if you can get a brand ambassador for you out there talking about your products or services. Excellent. However, in the real world, with as many folks that live and work in especially the Dallas area, we're very populated. We have a lot of businesses competing for business, whether it's for the consumer side or the business side. But they talk about the heavy referrals being their base of marketing and how that's really where they get all their bread and butter. It concerns me, and I'd like for you to address this, but it concerns me only because I was a former client of 15 years for Art of Strategy, and I know the value they brought to me in pulling together get ready for this, marketing matters, it's strategy, right?
Yes.
They don't have a strategy.
Right.
They have a website, and they make it look very nice. I don't know if it's optimized. We can't talk about that, but they have a website, most likely. I did find out that about 30% of law firms out there don't have a website. Yeah,
Really?
so that was alarming.
And I can always tell when they have their email at a Gmail account or something like that. I'm like, oh, pumpkin, we need to help.
I know. There's red flags that sometimes go up for us.
Right.
But if they don't have a website or they don't have a presence on any of the social platforms tied to the branding or messaging, do they have a consistent message or a tagline or something that they can be known for and grow into that name? Blogging, becoming an expert.
Right.
Or even just showcasing their expertise in their topic of specialty.
That's all great things. And I think that basically it's a very layered approach.
Yes.
In that you start with a strategy, you start with the end in mind, and then you build outwards. And so it goes all the way through even to the search engine optimization. So if you have one, that's great, but you're limping along. You need to have, all four legs running at the same time in the same direction. And, I think that a lot of the ones that we come across, they have either a great design or great SEO, but not both.
Right.
And, you can limp along without great design, but you can't without great branding. And if you're not branded across your social platforms, if you're not saying a message that's on target, and you're not repeating it, then you're off to kind of a limpy start. Right. And could use some help. So, the four elements that I think of from channels for success would be the SEO, a pay-per-click part of strategy, a social part of strategy, and that can also include the blog. And to complete the circle, I think that you would need to do some email marketing. Right. So I think one builds upon the other, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're getting referrals, that's great. But when you're sending them to your website, are they matching up with what was said? So like, he's a great attorney, and if you go to the website and it looks like your cousin made it, then that may reflect poorly on you. Right. So it's good to have all the lines aligned.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Aligned.
Absolutely. The lines aligned.
The lines aligned.
The lines aligned. We're saying epic things here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we talk about the attorneys and how they are getting referrals, do you think that there is a place for networking in that for attorneys?
I absolutely do. I absolutely do. You know, we have our own networking event.
Yes, we do. We should highlight that for sure.
I'll just throw it out there. The North Texas Networking Group. Go to northtexasnetworking.com and you'll be taken to our website and you can register for it. It's the second Tuesday of every month from 5:30 to 8. It's at 12 Cuts Brazilian Steakhouse. One of the finest.
One of the finest.
One of the finest. We love Alda and her team. They always take great care of us. And I will say, many of our clients not only attend, but a lot of our, what kind of friends, family, business associates, and referral partners, and potential clients. We use this as kind of a breeding ground to invite who we'd like to do business with or find out more about and hear pain points and new discussions and challenges and see how we might rise to that challenge and help. And if we can't, we can probably find them the perfect resource that will. But networking groups, you know, it's interesting. We did not network for years. And you and I made the conscious decision in 22 that we're going all out. We're going to just do some networking and we're flying now. And I do give a lot of the cred to us going to those networking groups and the groups that we attended regularly.
Right. I feel like that is, you know, you can do the digital marketing, but when it comes to the other types of outreach that you need to do in your marketing plan. Mm-hmm. So you have digital marketing, you have in-person marketing, which we call networking. You have email campaigns, which is sort of outbound marketing. Mm-hmm. And then you have print brochures, those kind of things. They're sort of outdated a little bit, but lawyers and professional services sometimes want that paper feeling in your hand when you walk in and you're like, I need to have something to walk away with.
Yes.
That helps as well.
Yes.
So the other thing that we didn't really mention but is important is the back loop of all the things we're doing, which is the tracking.
Yes.
And the analytics.
Yes.
So you can have all this information and all that, but if you're not looking at what's working mm-hmm. and what's not working, mm-hmm. then half of your battle is lost already.
And I'm going to pause you right there. One important question to ask yourself right now for all the listeners, watchers, all three of you, whatever. I would say that when you are evaluating what your needs are, everyone knows that they need marketing. They just don't know what. They don't know how.
Right.
The first thing that you just said is so key, is be aware of where you rank, of what your plan or strategy for marketing is. Did it start with that targeted persona and a mission, a company mission? Did it, is there a passion? It matters. It matters to know where you are. Marketing. Yep. Marketing matters. Art of strategy. You heard it from these ladies. Marketing matters. But oftentimes I'll just say, what things would you like to improve? Well, I'm not even really sure what we're doing. And that tells me there's no strategy in place, that they don't have people identified, bodies identified to do these things. And many business owners and very, very busy professional people don't have time to stop and do a TikTok or a LinkedIn message with a thoughtful post, a lot of hashtags. There's a way to do it right, and there's a way to just not do it.
Or there's a way to do it half.
And
a lot of people
engage someone to help you.
Yes.
And let us do that busy work and let you go to do the bigger work that you want to do. So I think knowing where they stand is the most important piece, because that will tell them right there where to start.
Right. And I think that there is another big component that we need to talk about, especially with professional services, especially with attorneys, is online reputation management.
Yes.
So one of the things that comes up a lot is Google reviews. So that box, when you put in a name, let's say you put in your company name, but you don't put the URL in, the box that comes up is the Google business profile.
Mm-hmm.
And it lists all your details, plus how to call you, if you have hours, what your specialties are, pictures. But you can also put content on it. And that really helps push you higher and higher with Google. So the key is to be everywhere when you go on Google, or Bing, whichever one you want to use.
Your preference.
Your preference. When you go on it, you want to be the first ad, you want to be the first organic, and you want to be the first map. And those three things can work in concert. So when you have your Google business profile, it also includes your reviews.
Okay.
And so when you're talking about referrals, you hope that you have a lot of good reviews in there. It matters. Don't feel worried if you have one or two bad reviews in there. That just actually makes you look human. Although it may be egregious and you want to kind of
you may want to remove it quick.
The trick is you can't remove it quick.
No, yeah, they want to though.
They want to. Everybody's like, "How do I get that review down?" And I'm
I
like,
want to. Oh, you can't.
You can't get that
They
down.
want it down. Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen. But it does matter, and you definitely want to maybe get a campaign going of your best clients. You could send an email to that says, "Hey, we'd love a 5-star review if you have one in you, and give me your feedback." That's kind of what we would do. So
yeah,
I think those are the main components for lawyers in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's a tight market right now, and it's getting tighter.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that worked in the past may not work anymore. As the market tightens up, the R word of recession comes into people's mouths.
Mm-hmm.
Budget concerns, their needs go down. It's not necessarily like, oh, I need, an attorney for this or for that, or I need a CPA. Mm-hmm. They're conserving their dollars. But now, through digital marketing and marketing in general, you can get them to kind of expose themselves in different ways mm-hmm. to your message, right. And actually have an outcome where there's positive results. Right. So that's really kind of what
it's everything you've said is magic. I hope people have listened to the tidbits you've thrown out there. They are gold tidbits about what they need to do on their Google My Business profile, and what they need to do on their website, and things to be focused on. So, but B2C, it is a difficult one, but there's so many things that we as a marketing agency have helped others do that are B2C, and some of that is hosting an event in an area where they're trying to grow. They also can start maybe a campaign on like a newsletter or something where they send out, subscribe to if you want to hear more about some legal updates or law changes.
And you mentioned blogs earlier, and I think blogs are going to be important because it helps establish not only your abilities mm-hmm. and your professionalism and your expertise.
Yeah.
But it also helps you with keywords.
Right.
So it's what we like to call a BOGO, buy one, get one.
Yeah. We love BOGOs.
We do love BOGOs.
Yes.
In all ways.
Yes, absolutely, especially shoe stores. Anyway, but yes, blogs so important. It not only it establishes them as the resident expert, but it puts a face to the name and to the brand and to the company, and that's what B2C are looking for. They're looking
Right.
for a friendly face that they feel like they can trust. And
They want to connect.
They want to connect. They want to get to know them and be a client of theirs for a long time, unless something happens to that relationship. But that's what they're looking for, and so we help people connect with their customers.
Right.
That's what we do. Marketing matters. It'll help your revenue grow.
That's right. Well, I think that's all we have today. Might have been a short one today, but we're snappy, if nothing else.
Right.
And we'll see you next time. I hope everyone has a great week. And if you do want to come to our
Networking event.
our networking event, it's June 13th. The next one is June 13th. Or if you see this in the future, just go to northtexasnetworking.com and look for the next one that's coming up. We link it every time. So hopefully we'll see you there.